Shalom Yashrala. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Hakodash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule one, who taught us this truth, and salutations to all the Akim pushing this word in truth and in sincerity with charity. It's the brothers from the Great Millstone camp here in Chicago, and Lord willing, it's an edifying lesson. As we approach, Jacob's trouble, all right, fully, we have to be stable in our minds. We have to come to a level of understanding that a lot of our family members are just not going to make it, all right? And your real family is those that are doing the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Remember that, all right? When you eat the row and you get understanding, 2/3 you understand that they're not going to make it. They're going to be brought back on the other side, all right, in the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, through the elect. They'll be back, so you don't have to worry about them now,
Mm-hmm. Right, because hey, when we all go through this phase. Most of us that come into this truth. When we first begin and we find out this truth, and we're so fervent and we want to tell everybody, and we don't care who it is. We want to tell our mamas, our daddies, our sisters, our grandpas, and our best friends, and we get to man, I'm sure my dad will get this. My dad, loves the Lord. I'm sure. But the truth of reality is that like the brother was saying, this isn't for everybody. So for the most part, the ones that are closest to you are going to be the main ones rejecting it, and you can't get offended by it. You have to be able to accept it and just let it be. Just tell them once, and see what their reaction is, and after that, through the spirit, just deal with them accordingly. Whether they believe and actually follow, or they scoff. If they believe and follow, well, obviously you're gonna keep dealing with them. If they don't, then just leave it alone and just talk to them. Be a serpent. Um, what? Be a dove. What's the scripture? It's like harmless as a.
Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Yeah.
And use that wisdom and just talk to them about things that they will want to talk about. Don't even mention the truth, and don't get offended when they snicker and even make comments about it. They don't understand. It's not for them. You can't do anything to change that. And you have to be able to accept that, man. And not try to, like, okay, well, I already told them. Well, I'm gonna tell them again, and then because then you're only gonna vex yourself. Then now you're gonna end up going against the Lord by casting your pearls before swine.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking that.
So you don't want to do that, man. Just tell them once, and that's it. Remember, hey, our first enemies are gonna be those of our own household. But I got this one.
Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes 1:18. It says, "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." So yeah, once you understand all this, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna get excited, you're gonna get all this, and then seeing that the loved ones that you wanted to get this truth reject it, that's also gonna get you, mad and angry, like you know. But it's we have to come to the full understanding, man. And you really have to, they might, to some, it might be a hard pill to swallow. That the one, your wife, your kids, your mother, your father, whoever you're closest to, more than likely they're destined for destruction. You have to come to that understanding. You have you have to realize that that's the reality of this. You know, and they just hope and that the Lord has mercy. You know, because besides that, you're not gonna get anywhere, man. Trying to convince some and constantly argue is like, the scriptures say, if it be possible, be at peace with all men. Once you said it, and they rejected it, just leave it like that. Just deal with them when you have to, and that's it.
Kind of. This is Matthew 22:14. For many are called, but few are chosen. So you gotta understand that the Lord's only dealing with a small number. All right, be grateful and thankful that you've been called. So now do your part to endure to the end. You see. This is Titus chapter 3 verse 10. A man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition reject. After the second warning. Because you try to tell people when you first wake up to this truth. You're so hot and on fire. But not everyone's gonna receive it. And the Lord even said, hold on. This is yeah. This is Mark chapter 6 verse 4. But Yahushua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country, and among his own kin, and in his own house. So, and also in Matthew it tells you that the foes of your household, the first foes are going to be those of your household, man, when you wake up to the truth. All right, because they're still, in that strong delusion, that Stockholm syndrome. So you gotta come to an understanding that they're not meant to get it. And maybe, since you did warn them, in the day of your power. Let me just get that real quick. This is Psalms chapter 110, and right to the point, verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. From the womb of the morning, thou has the dew of thy youth. So when we get our power, man, when the Lord gives us that power again, our people are going to be willing, because there's going to be there's 1/3 right now. There's part of the there's part of the 1/3 that are going to be saved in that last hour. They're going to need to see it to believe it, so to speak. And the Lord is going to have mercy on them. They're predestined to be delivered as well. Okay, so if anything, trust that potentially, that your loved ones could be part of the 1/3, down the line, when it's known then,
Yeah, like in other words, don't make a big deal about it. Let the Lord reveal what He reveals, and just be able to accept whatever that the Lord's will is, whether it's to save them at the very end, like the brother said, when they start seeing more miracles of the Lord, or whether they die unfaithfully.
Right. Because ultimately, this is the Lord's show. You know what I'm saying? And everyone has their part to play. Including 2/3 of the nation of Israel, which are so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians today. We know through the scriptures. The Lord revealed through the Spirit. From the apostles and elders on down. Hey, that 2/3 of our people are just not going to make it, man. And that includes a lot of our loved ones, our so-called family that we grew up with. All right, but when you wake up to this truth, your family is those doing the will of the Heavenly Father, man. Our Father. We're about our Father's business. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 47. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee. But he answered and said unto him that told him, this is Yahushua speaking now, okay? And it reads, who is my mother and who are my brethren? And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same as my brother and sister and mother, So those doing the will of our Father, man, that's who the family is, man. All right? See, because this isn't the kingdom yet. So, we're going to have wicked people among our nation, specifically 2/3 of our people. I'll go ahead.
This is Micah 7:6. It says, for the son dishonoreth the father, and the daughter riseth up against the mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. a man a man's enemies are the men of his own house.
Mm.
You know, so that's where those are going to be the main ones. Yeah, and you have to be able to accept that when that comes. You know, that these are going to be, yeah, your main enemies. It's not even going to be people outside your circle. It's going to be the ones inside the house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, just be discreet and how you deal with every situation. Some brothers are some brothers don't even tell anything to their family. You know, other brothers do, and then they just leave it like that.
Yeah.
You know, but once you warn them, there's nothing else you can do. You know, yeah, of course we care. We would like to see all the family, delivered, but that's out of our power. You know, all we can do is just deliver the message, and after that, it's all on them. You know.
This is First Peter chapter 1 verse 13. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua Mashiach. All right. So get prepared of what's to come, and inquire how the righteous are going to be saved. You see, we're going into Jacob's trouble, time like no other. All right. So we got to stay focused. We got to stay in the spirit, and Lord willing, make it, all the way to the end. Trusting in Yahweh Bashim Shai to guide us there. You see, knowing that two-thirds, whoever doesn't make it on this side, they're going to be in the kingdom on the other side. In the book of Isaiah, the scriptures tell you that all Israel is going to be righteous, man. So all our people are going to be good. This is, and also, you know what? Oh, let me just get this one scripture. Sorry. So the book of Psalms. One second. Right. Yeah, this is Psalms 126 and 1. When the Lord Yahweh turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. So the Lord is not going to lead us into captivity anymore. He's going to visit the iniquity of Edom. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of these heathens, man. The Lord's coming to deliver his elect, those that bestow their love upon him. All right, that know his name and meditate upon it and call upon him. You know? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, with that, we hope this lesson was edifying. Again, we want to give all praise. Oh, you got more? Oh, shit, my man. Hold on, there's more. But wait.
God, hey, this is Genesis 19:14. It says,
Okay.
and Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, right? So people close to him, which married his daughters and said, up, get you out of this place, for Yahweh will destroy this city.
Perfect.
Right? He warned them. It says, but he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-laws. You see, they didn't get it, and what ended up happening? They ended up getting destroyed. Only Lot and his two daughters were the ones that survived. So we had, that's the spirit we have to have, man. That, hey, if you said it and they want to stay in this world, hey, so be it. At the end of the day, you don't really lose anything, and you're showing him more love by, or her, whoever it may be. You're showing them more love by doing this. And we'll get it back in the kingdom. So if you really have faith, it really shouldn't bother. Of course the flesh tweaks and all that, but it really shouldn't get to the point where you're stressing yourself out about it. We believe the Lord, and you believe that the Lord is gonna, if He does destroy them on this side, then He's gonna bring them back. On the next side, you're actually gonna be able to enjoy them. In the kingdom, with them having a right mindset. Right here, even like right here, you can't even be with these people, man. These people you used to hang around with a lot, used to, you grew up with. Now it's like they irk you. Why? Because can two walk together unless they be agreed? you know. So brothers live in different situations. Some brothers have to live with these people, other brothers don't. You know, so just you use it. Have some discernment. You know, if you already said something, then leave it like that. Don't even mention anything about the truth. If they mock, then they should let Yahweh's not mocked. For what a man soweth, that's sure he also reaps. So really, they're only making their situation worse. You know, you shouldn't stress about it or anything. Hey, Yahweh Shai. I don't know if you brought it out. Yeah, you brought it out Ezekiel 12, right? I mean Matthew 12, right?
Yeah.
What did he say? He denied his mother, and his actual physical family to be with the disciples. He said, "Nah, this is my family. In other words, this is my family right here. They could wait. So it didn't bother him. And we have to take up the mind of Yahweh Shai, so these things won't bother us. This is why the Lord tells us not to love the world, not to love this, not to love that. Why? Because it's all it's a possibility that you might lose it, and you don't want to love it to the point where it becomes a stumbling block, and now you're falling out because of it.
Right.
But this is we could end it up with this. This is First John 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. This is love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. It says, and part of that is our family, because our family, they're not accepting it. They're part of the world. So what was going to happen to the world? It says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world, but of this world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. So
Perfect.
So this world is gonna pass away. So if your family wants to stay in this world, or anybody you love and care about, then hey, you have to let it go, because they're gonna get destroyed right with it, and you don't want to be part of that, man. You will get those that's your sons, your daughters, your wife, those that went away because of this truth, or all that, they're all gonna come back in the kingdom, with a right mindset, actually really love you, and so on and so forth. We don't lose anything on this side, man. The Lord even said it. Peter asked him, what should we get? We left everything. What should we get? And he told him that he should get a hundredfold. Wives, houses, daughters, all that. The Most High knows, and he considers, and he understands what we have to go through. This is why he gives the tools, so we could be able to overcome. He acknowledges this. So it's not like you're going through and the Lord doesn't care. No, he knows. It's just it's a sacrifice we gotta make, and we just have to have faith that the Lord will give us these things in the kingdom, and we'll be able to enjoy Him, actually enjoy Him in the kingdom. So with that, just a little, exhortation. It was inspired, by our brother. He was going through something, and we decided the Spirit moved us to do a lesson. So don't worry about family and all that. Don't get it. Just if you feel like warning them, warn them. But after that, you could tell if they're scoffing or not. And if they scoff, then they just leave it alone. You're only gonna destroy yourself. If you try to always argue and all that. Use the world. Don't abuse it. After that, just hold conversations to their understanding. But don't get bugged out about all the rest. So hopefully, we're ratified. We're gonna end by giving our praise and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Chaprash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yeshua that rule well. And salutations to your Akim out in the highways and the byways, preaching His word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.